You may not consider yourself a do-it-yourselfer, but if you can operate one of these, you can install one of these, the ONNAIS RV door lock. Have you ever locked yourself out of your RV, or you're constantly misplacing your RV keys? Well, it might be time to upgrade your door lock. So when ONNAIS reached out to us and asked if we had tried the ONNAIS Guard Pro door lock with the digital keypad, we were pretty excited to give it a try. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to install the door lock, how to program your password, and also how to program the key fobs. But before we get started with that, there's a couple things to be aware of. This door lock will fit 99.9% of all the RV doors, all the standard RV doors, but there are a couple things to be aware of. It is made for a door opening where the lock is going to go through the door of 3 3/4 inches tall, 2 3/4 inches wide, and the width of the door should be between 1 1/4 and 1.5 inches deep. So with all that said, let's go ahead and we're going to jump over to the back door in the RV and we're going to install one of these door locks. All right, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I already took my old door lock off, and as I mentioned earlier, I did double check to make sure this was 3 3/4 inches tall, 2 3/4 inches wide as well. If yours is off a little bit too shy where your new door lock won't fit in, it's nothing to take a little Dremel tool and trim off a little excess if you have to. It's very easy. It's just styrofoam on the inside. We actually had to do that on one of our doors. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this outside, the side with the keypad on it. We're going to insert it into our door and attach it to the strike plate to hold it in place. A couple things to be aware of as you're sticking this in. Just make sure your wire here doesn't get caught somewhere in the door. So let's go ahead and get this installed. We're going to put it in on a slight angle, and I am going to come over to the other side so I can see what I'm doing, and hopefully you can see it's actually just sitting there in place. The first thing I need to do is hold it in place and put the strike plate on. Once the strike plate is on and snug, we're not going to tighten it down all the way yet, just enough to kind of hold everything in place. Okay, I got the first screw in. Again, just snug enough to hold it in place. I'll get this bottom screw installed. All right, so once these screws are in, this can't go anywhere, and it is. You can still see that it's kind of loose. I can move it around a little bit. That will give me time at the end to kind of do some fine adjustments if I want to move it up or down or not. Okay, next step is to put the back plate on. Couple things to be aware of when installing the back plate. You got 3 things you kind of want to pay attention to. Of course, one, we're going to attach these wires before we do anything, but also you want to make sure this little latch here, this little groove, aligns with what's on the back of the front plate. And also this little thing right here, this is what, hopefully you can see that, that's what is used to open and close the door. So you want to make sure this little tab fits on the outside of the tab that's on here, on the front plate. So let's go ahead and get this started. I did already install the batteries. The batteries is simply unscrewing this bottom screw and putting in 4 AA batteries. So let's go ahead and attach our wire. And we're going to just try to tuck the wire in the best we can and go ahead and try to line this up. Now that I got this lined up, before I put any screws in, there's 4 screws in the back that's going to hold these together. I'm just going to do a real quick check. I'm just kind of holding this together with my hands, the front and back. I'm going to make sure the deadbolt works when I turn this, and also the front latch works as well on that. Now that I know that everything works, I'm going to try to line these holes up and get this installed. Okay, so I did get the first one in. Again, it's very loose, but now I can kind of relax a little bit. It's not going to go anywhere, so now I can install the other 3 screws. And I do like to start on the top, and then the second screw I put in was kind of catty corner. I did the opposite From the first one, I did the lower half. Now before I tighten these down, I will look to make sure I get the lock pretty straight. I don't want it cockeyed. Once I get it how I want it, then I can go ahead and tighten the strike plate down all the way, and also these screws here. Okay, that's it for the installation process on this. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to program our password, and then we'll also program our key fobs. Now that we have our lock installed, the first thing we want to do is to change our default password. These locks do come shipped with a default password of 12345, so let's go ahead and change that now. Once that's done, I'm going to show you something pretty cool this lock can do. So let's go ahead and change our password. First thing we have to do is to hit the reset button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Next thing we're going to do is enter in the default password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit the button with the check mark. Now we have to hit the set button 1 time. And now we're ready to enter in our new password. Let's use 67890. Hit the check mark again. One more time. 67890. Check. Hopefully you can hear that. It just beeped to confirm that this worked properly. Let's go ahead and try this out. This is locked right now. The door's closed. It's unlocked. We're going to go ahead and lock it. Let's try our new password. 67890. Unlock. And to show you the default password doesn't work anymore, let's give that a try. Let's go ahead and lock it. It's locked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unlock. Nothing. Let's put in our new password. 67890. Unlock. There you go. Now I'm going to show you something really cool. Hopefully you don't have to use this too often, but I can see this happening once in a while. Let's go ahead and lock our door. Now, how many times have you been in a situation where you want to come in and unlock your door, but you may have some people around you and you're a little too polite to tell them not to look, or you don't want them to see your combination. You don't want to be that guy. So what you're allowed to do, this lock allows you to enter in up to 32 digits, and as long as your combination is within those 32 digits, this will still unlock. So if you didn't know what my combination was, I can enter in a whole bunch of numbers, unlock, and it just unlocked. So remember that if you happen to have people around you that you really don't want them to see your combination, but at the same time you're trying to be polite, you don't want to ask them to look away, that's one way to get around it. Now that we have our password updated, let's go ahead and update our fobs, our key fobs. Last thing we want to do is to go ahead and program our key fob. The process is very simple. First thing we have to do is enter in our password, 67890, check. Come on the inside, hit the set button 3 times. You're going to hear a beep on the keypad, and just hit any button on your key fob, and it's as simple as that. You'll hear another beep and they are programmed. So hopefully you can see that. Locked, unlocked, locks, unlocks. Programming the key fob is that simple. If you've been watching our channel for any length of time, you know we always tell you the truth, and this is something that worried us a little bit in the beginning, but we found out it's really not that big of a deal. But I do want to make sure you're aware of this. Our screen door now, when I go to close it, it just hits this lock a little bit. There's just not quite enough space in there. It just kind of hits it. The front door actually hits it a little bit worse than that. So I do want to make sure you are aware of that. Not all screen doors are going to be exactly the same. They're going to have, some will have a little bit more of a gap in between. It may not be an issue for you, but it does hit a little bit on our door. Again, we did find out though, the only time we had this closed, our doors open anyway, so it's not really an issue for us anyways, but you should just be aware of it. Hopefully you can see just how easy it was to install the ONNAIS Guard Pro door lock. Very, very simple process. Very easy to update the password and also to program the key fob. Everything was straightforward and easy to follow instructions. If this is something you think you might be interested in, check out the description of the video below. I'll put all the information in there and how you can order one of these for yourself. And if you're like us, they also have packages of 2 as well, and that's what we have here. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Remember, always live life to the fullest. Now it's time to go in and relax.